Julian's face is so sketch, bro. Oh my God, look at his face. So sketchy. He's like, yeah, I got my daddy talking for me now. I got my daddy talking for me now. Oh my God, this dude's face. Everybody's going to believe me now. I told you I was natural. Yo, look at this dude's face. I can't, man. Oh my God, he is the gift that keeps on giving this guy. Julian's like trying to tell a story over here, and Hany's just like, okay, let's go over here.
Awesome.
All right, let's do the next exercise.
It's like, what? Hani is lying. Hani is lying. If you're on gear, just saying you're going to do more weight than one plate, that's another ridiculous thing to say. Because if you watched the video that he did with Jeff Nippard, Jeff put on like every single plate that he could possibly find in the gym onto that machine, and Julian lifted it. It's on practically the same machine. I don't care if he's on drugs, but what I do care about is when I have people like you giving me stupid arguments as to why he's not. So don't tell me it's because he's using one plate. These are absolutely ridiculous arguments coming from a professional. I think you're burying your credibility.
Doing a plate and a quarter is because, again, that's natty.
You know how many natty people can do 4 plates? Don't lose the respect that people have for you like Jeff Nippard did, okay? Jeff Nippard went out on a limb to try to protect Julian and Hussein, and he got crapped all over because he looked like an idiot.
Oh, he took this, oh, he took that. No, y'all saw it from the jump, so yeah.
We didn't see it from the jump. He's going out of his way to say, I am natural and I am genetically gifted and I'm amazing. He's going out of his way. But show the baby pictures.
Show the legs, bro.
You were not born with biceps like that, bro.
Show the legs.
Oh, and if you were, you know you'd be showing it to people already. Bro, you get me sick. The argument is getting me sick. It's disgusting to see a grown man with so much knowledge talk like this. Like we're a bunch of idiots. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Very excited to be here. Just released that video that I told you guys I would release where Sam Sulek is training with Urs Kalasinski. Magic Bear, Miracle Bear. Sorry, guys. You guys know, if you watch me long enough, my brain doesn't work all the time, okay? Sorry about that. But I give you guys the best I can. So I literally just finished editing that video today, and I've been getting DMs from you guys and comments in the YouTube section saying, Hani Rambod just put out 19-year-old natural bodybuilder destroys back day. Another video with Julian Fitzgerald, and I got a lot of people telling me they want to hear my take on it. I have not seen it yet. And this guy, Hani, man, let me tell you, he's putting me, like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this. Because he just released another video, now that I'm looking at his page, with Julian. Did he survive leg day? So what? This guy put out another video 6 hours ago at the time of me making this one. And I got to catch up. I got a list of stuff. Anyway, very happy to be here today. Let's take a look at this video where apparently we have Julian training with Hani, hopefully training better than we've seen him train in the past, while they destroy back day. Keep in mind also what they're supposed to be focusing on, last I checked with Hani, is getting Julian more wide, okay? Because many people, including Julian himself, believe that he's not wide enough. Many people believe this. I think he's pretty wide, but yes, I mean, if he wants to get his IFBB Pro card, which he has already stated that he wants to do, he's going to have to do a couple of things. The first thing, he's going to have to get more wide, that's for sure. The second thing is, he's going to have to work on those wheels, man, because his legs are looking like twigs.
It's going to be a little more pump.
Show the legs, bro.
Show the legs. I'll leave these pants off.
Show the legs.
So we've seen them do this. And the third thing that he's going to be having to work on is getting over his fear of needles.
I'm in the gym all the time. That's like because somebody's like basically saying, "Nah, you didn't put in the work. You just stuck a needle in your arm." But
Right.
I'm like afraid of needles. I hate needles like so much.
See, that's how you know he's not enhanced, because you said you put it in your arm and you don't inject in your arm. Ah.
Because apparently he's got a fear of needles. And if you want to be an IFBB pro in today's age, guys, needles, you're going to need to get to know them. So he's going to have to get proper form on how to plunge that thing into his butt. Anyway, that came across wrong. Oh, man, that came across wrong. Anyway, this should be a very interesting video.
Here with none other than youngin' Julian Fitzgerald. And I'm very excited to say he survived the leg workout. So if you haven't seen the leg workout yet, you definitely want to go check that out. Workout 1 was shoulders. Workout 2 was legs. Workout 3 is going to be today, which is going to be back.
Yeah, he survived the leg workout. Barely. Barely. This dude looked like he wanted to throw up. And I thought the funniest thing about that was he's over there doing cardio on the exercise bike saying, you guys could probably tell, even though my legs don't look strong, that they're strong.
As you can probably see, like my legs are pretty strong. They just don't look as strong as they actually are, you know?
You want the good news or you want the bad news?
Bad news, man. What's up?
Okay, the bad news is you're weak at this.
I like to feel the pain, you know what I mean? So
You want to play bodybuilding? Let's go. Let's play bodybuilding. Let's go. You don't play bodybuilding. You did a good job.
I feel like I'm about to throw up. I'm going to throw up.
It's like, bro, first of all, no, you're doing cardio. Second of all, look at what you ended up looking like after that training session. Now, keep in mind, at the end of that, Hani said that we didn't do nothing too crazy. Hani was actually astounded at how poorly Julian performed. Wild stuff. But let me tell you, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to see in this video, but I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna take an educated guess. Hani's been watching every video that's been made out there talking about Julian and working with himself. And he's going to probably try to make Julian look a little bit better because, you know, that's what you would want to do for one of your guys, I'm assuming. So let's see if that happens.
And how was the leg workout?
Man, it sucks. Like, oh my gosh. I'm still feeling everything in my legs, not gonna lie. That was tough, but I'm excited because, you know, now I know what I gotta put in and I'm willing to put it in. You know, I'm able to see like what it costs. And so it's definitely something that, you know, I'll get used to. And I'm really glad that we were able to put myself through that because, you know, I'm hurting. So, you know, no pain, no gain. So yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, no doubt. Julian admits that now he sees what it costs in order to be a bodybuilder. Hani, sorry guys, I'm going to be messing his name up, guys. I'm sorry. Notice I said it correctly in the beginning for once. Hani specifically said to him, we don't play bodybuilding. So again, I posed the question to the audience. Are these just genetics? Does he just have big arms and that's why he gets as many accusations as he gets? I don't think it's just the big arms. The guy's 200 pounds of solid muscle, hardly any body fat on him. But the fact remains, this guy's physique is incredible, and yet he never knew what it took in the first place, which is another gripe I have, of course, as you guys I've made it very clear in my past videos about him. You never, bro, should have been telling anybody how to train in the first place. Meanwhile, that was like what you love to do, going around telling people how to train. You never should have did it when you never even knew what it took to begin with.
We're teaching him where the threshold of pain really is. He used to be down here. Now we're moving that bar up so that he can understand that he's got to push past that point of the basic burn, because that's where you want to be. That's where you want to live. You want to live on those winning reps, those winning sets. Because if you're just going to like discomfort and a bit of burn, that's only going to take you so far. And again, already with his God-given genetics, it's amazing, but how much better can that be if we can ramp everything up a notch?
Yeah, and he was probably never ever feeling a basic burn in the first place. Reason being, historically, he only does like 2 or 3 reps per set. So sure, it takes a lot of energy to lift a heavy weight for 2 or 3 reps, but then you're done. So he probably never got into burn territory in the first place. He probably never had an experience with lactic acid in the first place, which is just mind-boggling based on his physique. So I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think about it? What do you think about that? Look at Julian's arm. What on earth? Is it the camera angle? It might be. But it's not only the camera angle. This guy's arms are literally, I believe, literally bigger than his own head. I can't. Absolutely incredible arms. Automatically, he's going to be very good at the pull-ups that Hani just said they're going to be doing. Because those arms are going to be taking over the movement.
Good. Good form. Good. All right.
Honestly, I would think that maybe Hani would want to pre-exhaust the back a little bit on Julian first, considering his arms are going to take over. But Hani knows, what he's doing, obviously. So let's see what he's got.
A couple of questions from the YouTube. So you guys go ahead, feel free to throw your questions and comments into the YouTube.
Oh, we got questions. I wonder what questions he's going to talk about.
And one of the questions I had is, am I going to be able to focus on his arms more? Absolutely not. We want to actually de-emphasize. He loves training arms because that's his favorite body part, but we're going to actually de-emphasize it because we're trying to do the opposite. We're trying to build balance. So what we're doing is we're going to try to thicken up that chest. We're going to widen up those shoulders to fill in those arms. Again, it's going to be a task. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to eventually, he's going to get there. And we're going to try to widen the back and thicken the back. So, and we are trying to really focus right now on being able to use good form and work on being able to go a little slower on the eccentric, which is on the way down.
I find it very interesting. Maybe Hani said that they're going to be warming up. I don't recall warming up with pull-ups, which is fine, totally cool. But it definitely wouldn't be, in my opinion, the best thing to warm up with. Just because unless Hani's able to really tell if Julian is engaging the back muscles through proper form, I don't know if Hani would really be able to tell if those biceps are taking over. So if the point of warming up is the pull-ups, I do believe that Julian very, very likely, even if it looks like he has proper form, is using predominantly biceps. So again, I don't really feel like it's the best type of a warm-up that they could be doing in his particular case.
Again, super, super dominant. He's going to get arms with training back. You're going to have that on doing pull downs, doing rows, all the ancillaries kicking in. It's a very dominant body part already, so we don't have to go crazy because it builds even more imbalance.
And it makes sense. Everything that Hani's saying, of course, makes sense. The guy is really good at what he does. He makes pros for a living. And so they're not going to be training arms or biceps specifically, I believe, solely. He's getting it all through the biceps being a secondary muscle group in the muscles that they're going to be training outside of that. That totally makes sense. He doesn't need any more biceps. I'm very interested, though, to see if he's able to really work the other muscles without over-fatiguing the biceps, because they're just huge. Look at them. I keep getting told by my wonderful subscribers that I need to tell you guys to like and subscribe. So like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. What are you waiting for? If you love the video, like and subscribe.
As you've seen in the last videos, he was going really quickly on the way up, very explosive, very football-esque. When you're going in and training in football, everything is about power, and it's about, you know, really contact. Now what we're trying to do is we're working time under tension because now we're bodybuilding.
I just want to mention something that maybe some of you guys might have noticed. I've mentioned this in a couple of videos. Hani just said that Julian is very explosive because of his football background, right? And then Julian took that opportunity to be like, yes, you saw his face. He's like, yeah, you know, yes, that's why I am the way I am. That's the reason. Because we need a reason. The world wants a reason as to why this guy is so weak. So saying that and when I say weak, I'm talking about, like, for example, he had trouble doing 22-pound delt raises. That's what I mean by weak. Certain movements he's strong. Mostly, probably, because he's using only his biceps, which are the size of his head. But here nor there. He jumped at the opportunity to be like, yes, that's why I am the way I am. I train football. It's all about power. It's all about, you know, this and that. First of all, he also said he did wrestling. The guy's 19. I want to know, what year did you do football? What age were you when you played football? I want to know that. He's very young. I have no clue. What if he was 16 years old? What if he was 14 years old? You're not going to be training very hard for football if you're like a 14-year-old. Okay? So you getting that explosivity, but no training when it comes to endurance, speed, the eccentric phase on things. Well, if you're 14 and you're playing football, you're probably not getting that anyway. Very likely. You're probably not even getting the explosivity anyway. So, I don't really know. I've never played football, okay? But I know a bunch of toddlers ain't going to be running around getting great training. The guy has no history. If you look on his Instagram, which is the only place that I can think to look, he has zero history. He came out of nowhere. He has no pictures growing up. He has no pictures of him becoming the beast that he looks like now. He has no pictures of when he's a baby. There's a lot of documented cases out there of kids who look jacked when they're small. They got great genetics, and you can see it throughout their lifetime. There's no history on him. He claims he played football. He claims he did wrestling. How old were you? How long ago was this? Where's the photos? He claims he's been training for 3 years. But then at the same time, the other day in the video where he did, the first video where he did legs with Hani, he says something like, yeah, I started training like maybe 5 or 6 years ago doing this. And I'm thinking, what, bro, you told the world that you started training 3 years ago.
I can't wait for that. See that garden hose on your biceps coming out now?
Yeah. Yeah.
When did you start training?
I started training when I was around like 14 and a half, 15, so I've been training for around 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
So the way I trained my upper body was because, remember, the main reason I started was because I pulled my hip flexor, so I couldn't walk, I couldn't run, so I was doing push-ups. So that's when I began to train aesthetically, but my legs were still,
How long ago was that?
That was a while ago. That was when I first started, like around 14-ish.
Okay.
So that's when
Physiques like yourself are far and few in between, let me tell you. I've traveled the world for the last 12 years now making content with some of the best physiques. And your physique is arguably better than 90% of them, and you're natural.
It's a pleasure.
My thing is just that you just turned 19 years old. Just turned 19 years old, right? Yeah. And you're about 5 foot, almost 5'11".
Yeah.
Right? And you're about, how much right now? 200
pounds.
200 pounds?
Yeah.
So very confusing. If you watch him speak, very often he contradicts himself and says things that don't make sense. There's multiple examples of this, and I've even thought about making a video about it, showing everybody all the contradictions, but I've chosen so far not to, because I don't want to look like I'm just bashing him without trying to share some knowledge, because yeah, that would be kind of wrong. I look at these opportunities as knowledge sharing experiences, and unfortunately he gets caught in the crossfire. But I don't think just making a video tearing him apart for no reason just to prove that he's lying to everybody, I don't really feel too comfortable doing that. Anyway, zero evidence, zero proof, how long you've been training. It could be, for all I know, he could have been training for 1 year, because there's nothing that shows otherwise.
Getting buried with 50-pound dumbbells on shoulder press is not one of them. One. Good. Great range of motion. He's getting a good stretch. The lats are starting to really flare. Good. Keep going. Good. Weighing 205 pounds doing pull-ups. Go, go. Good. 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 Go. Good. Three more. Go. One. You got this. Two more. With me. Up. Two. Good. I'm with you. Drive it all the way up. Right there. Now slow. I'm gonna let go. You just go slow. Slow.
Notice when Hani put his hands on his waist, he automatically arched his back more. Tell me if I'm wrong. But before, he was doing what seemed like he could have been arching, but it looked mostly straight. If you're going to do a pull-up and you're not really like arching your back, you're not really engaging your back muscles, it's mostly biceps. So maybe I'm wrong. The camera angle could be deceiving, but I did believe that I saw a huge difference in the way he arched his back when he realized that Hani was touching him compared to before. So this is what I mean about the fact that certain movements, a lot of movements, you have to make sure this guy is pre-exhausted, because many of these movements he's going to be using his biceps as the primary driver, which is why his biceps are so huge maybe. So this is going to be tough for Hani. Maybe not tough because the guy's a professional, but it's going to be, I think, a little hard to gauge what's going on. I've worked with people like this in the past, and when you're working with an honest person, you have to always ask, where do you feel it? Where do you feel it? How much do you feel it? Pre-exhaustion, isolated movements, pre-exhaustion would be best for this guy. Again, he might be warming up with these pull-ups, but this is going to be a trend moving forward in any movement that he ends up doing. I'm noticing his eccentrics could be a bit better, but basically come down a little bit slower. They could be a bit better in my opinion, but they're not horrible. They're not absolutely horrible. I think they're pretty good. You have to come down slow to a point, because this is a body weight movement, and if not, you're going to end up like ripping your arms out of your shoulders. But I do believe he could come down a little slower. Once Hani grabs him, I do believe he's going to go a little bit slower. Notice how slow he's going when Hani is spotting him on this. Excellent spotting by Hani. Notice how his tempo changed. Wild. So this is going to be a reoccurring thing moving over. He doesn't understand maybe still that this eccentric portion is important, and that he needs to kind of like focus on that. I don't know. I'm so used to knowing it that it's second nature to me. It's like first nature to me. But this guy's never trained with good form, good weight, good nothing. So he knows nothing. He is a true beginner, despite what he looks like.
You enjoy watching me get tortured. Y'all are enjoying this?
You're just not used to working this hard.
This is entertaining. You enjoy watching me get tortured. Y'all enjoying this?
Yes, we are enjoying it. We are enjoying watching you get tortured, my bro. I'm happy he can laugh about it. I'm happy that he's cool with it. But we are enjoying it, because the fact that you think that this is torture is unbelievable. It is mind-blowing that we are 7 minutes and 45 seconds into the video, probably about 3 minutes into the actual warm-up part of the workout, and you're saying that you're being tortured. Is this guy gonna survive in the bodybuilding space?
Every workout with Hani, man, it's just torture, bro. I like it though. That's what it needs to be.
Every workout with Hani is just torture. Bro, you just started the exercise. You just started it. What torture is to come? What?
So let me ask you this. True or false? Do you believe that I only pushed you to 30%? Skirto said I pushed you only 30% on legs.
30%?
Yeah.
False.
False?
I feel like, yeah, I don't think that was 30%.
I'm going to tell you right now. They're talking about, I'm assuming the first videos that they did with this guy. Hani is saying he probably pushed him about 30%. Julian is like, no, you definitely didn't. You pushed me to my max. Look at him. Look at him at the end of the video. Look at this guy. Yeah. To him, it was 100%. To him. But in reality, where everybody else lives, this friggin' guy was at 20%. He was doing 22-pound dumbbell raises. And I'm not trying to say that if you do 22-pound raises, you should be ashamed. I'm not telling you to change your weight. I'm not telling you guys that it's all about the heavy weight. I'm not. Every critique that I give, including that critique, is based on who this guy is. You're not him. So don't put yourself in the equation, please. I'm not talking about you guys. 22 pounds is a fine working weight for many, many people. So trust me, I'm not. This is just for him.
I could see it being like maybe 80.
That is true. It was only a 30% workout because we did extensions, then we did very, very light hamstring curls. I think we only did about 60, 70 pounds. So again, very, very light. Didn't do any forced reps, didn't do any negatives, didn't do any FST 7 sets on hamstring. Then we went over to leg squats, but then when he went on leg press, he got buried with 2 plates on each side, had to do 1. And again, no extras when it came to anything with intensity multipliers. It means no partials, nothing else that we went out of our way to really push him past the point because he was just gonna get buried anyways.
Hani is lying. Hani is lying. It was not a 30% workout. Sorry, Hani. It was like 20, bro. You know, you're saying all the things that they did. You're saying it. So you know it was not heavy duty at all. The guy was like dying on his warm-up. It's him. It's him. Something's weird about him. I keep getting told by my wonderful subscribers that I need to tell you guys to like and subscribe. So like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. What are you waiting for? If you love the video, like and subscribe.
He did a good job on that. Very strong on squat because that's what he's used to doing.
Anyway, this is a very nuanced thing. Do I believe that Hani is going to throw him under the bus completely? No, I don't. So when he says he did good on something,
He did a good job.
you have to take it with a grain of salt. Maybe the whole salt pitcher.
So for those of you that are wondering whether or not he's natural or not, and why I do believe that he is natural is because, again, no disrespect, but he is not very strong.
Okay. This is something that is going to be nuanced, and I want everybody in the comments who's on drugs to respond, okay? Everyone who's on gear, respond and give us your input here. Hani says that he genuinely believes that Julian is not on drugs because he's not very strong. I don't believe that that is a good reason to promote the idea that he's not on drugs. I'm not saying he's on them. I'm not saying it. I can't prove a thing. That's why these videos are gold, right? But saying that you're going to be really strong once you start taking drugs, how many drugs are out there? There's so many different types of drugs. They all do a different thing. And there's evidence of many people who end up online taking gear and exploding. Now, this is a nuanced subject. I get asked in the comments a lot, well, isn't it true the fact that you can have somebody take drugs and train and not even look like they're on anything, but then you can have other people take them and they blow up like monsters? Just like you can have somebody train in the gym and they look like crap, and then have another person train in the gym and they look great. So it's very nuanced. And that's why everybody keeps saying genetics with this guy. Genetics, because that's a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm not saying he's on anything or not, but what I am saying is I don't believe that what Hani said was necessarily appropriate. I mean, you'd think he would know because he's training with pros how drugs work. But I'm not an expert on this stuff, and I need you guys to tell me your thoughts, because there's probably a lot of drugs out there and a lot of people out there who take drugs and they don't get strong. Yo, Julian's face is so sketch, bro. Oh my God, look at his face. So sketchy. He's like, yeah, I got my daddy talking for me now. I got my daddy talking for me now. Oh my God, this dude's face. Everybody's going to believe me now. I told you I was natural. Yo, look at this dude's face. I can't, man. Oh my God, he is the gift that keeps on giving, this guy.
No disrespect, but he is not very strong. Your body's a lot stronger than what you thought. He's got a pretty good strong squat, but when you were doing shoulder press, 50-pound dumbbells, kind of that was it. When he's doing a lot of the other exercises, not going super, super heavy. When you're taking drugs, guys, you naturally, one of the first things that goes up is your strength. That's why, believe it or not, I do believe he's natural. Looking at his blood work, not just myself, but a lot of other experts who've seen it, but also knowing what I know in the gym, right? This is one of the reasons why I show people these, when you have amazing genetics, you have standout body parts, but you're usually strong when you take drugs. And no offense, you got a long ways to go to start getting stronger, even naturally.
All right, sure. You have people, you do. It is true. What he's saying is true. Sometimes you see guys who have like no muscle and they got huge calves and they don't even go to the gym. They may be probably working construction or something like that. So that is true. What he just said, it can be true. Absolutely. But many times I think when you see guys with great genetics, right? Because all the great genetics guys are in pro bodybuilding or even like amateur bodybuilding. These guys with these great genetics, they look great all over for the most part. People who have great genetics, strong neck, strong arms, strong legs, abs, you can see that when they're kids. So it's nuanced and we're never going to know. And does it really matter? No. I'm here for the training because talking about the training, it's just fun.
This is like Disneyland for those that want to get swole.
Hey, man, it's necessary. But look, we got it, man. We got it.
5 years of this.
5 years. I mean, it'll fly by, I'm sure. Actually, it probably won't because...
First of all, I don't know if he's going to make it 5 years. Second of all, if he does keep at it, he's going to get better. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get more acclimated to the bodybuilding space. And so it's not going to be this bad for 5 years. But the fact that he complains over like the smallest things is just, it's mind-boggling to me.
You got to be there every single workout.
Hey, are those legs sore?
Yes. Yes. Jeez, man.
And notice he's got the long pants on. I just realized it when Hani asked him, are those legs sore? And I realized this guy's got his long pants on, hiding those stick legs for dear life. Another thing that's going to be interesting to see is how fast his legs grow. That's going to be interesting. And again, we're never going to know, guys. We're never going to know unless some crazy thing happens and all of a sudden there's a huge scandal and, you know, things are released and stuff like that. But how fast are the rest of his body parts going to grow? Hani mentioned it's not going to happen overnight. If it does happen overnight, that's going to be a huge cue to be like, okay, I think he's probably on stuff.
Every time I take a step, it feels like my hamstring is like going crazy. And then I can't go beyond parallel. Like me just doing this, I'm in extreme pain.
So bend your knees a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you go lower? Lower.
Like
Lower.
That right there is like the max.
That's the max?
Yeah.
Go lower.
I'm gonna just. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
All right, man.
All right, cool.
Let's go.
We're going to failure with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is it. You're warmed up.
I'm used to these right here. Like
Let's do this. Come on. Cross your legs. There you go. Just like that. Good. Good. 2. Excellent.
Okay. They're already warmed up. And so now they're doing this as an actual exercise. They're doing their working sets. Hani's got to know more than me, right? But again, I feel like this exercise is basically giving him a free pass to cheat. It's probably all biceps. They're looking to train his back. I don't know. Okay, another thing that I want to mention here. Right now, it appears that he has a neutral grip on this bar. That's going to train your forearms. It's going to train your biceps. And it's going to train your brachialis, which is right near the bicep. I thought they were looking to train back. I don't know. Maybe he's I don't know. I don't even know what's going on anymore. It doesn't seem like a great choice of exercise, especially if he's not going to be holding with a more wide stance. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And look at, I haven't even heard what Hani's about to say. First of all, look at his back. What? Second of all, look at the bicep peaks. I need to see pictures of when this kid was when this guy was a kid.
Good job. Go. Good. You got 3. Go. 1. Good. Again. 2. It's all you. Good. Up. Now right there. Slow. I'm gonna let go. You go slow. Slow. All the way to a good stretch. There you go. Okay. The only difference I would have made was that the last one, stretch all the way down and stay in the hanging position.
Okay, so lift my feet up a little bit.
Exactly. Bend your knees, lift your feet up.
Hani's doing a great job as far as being a coach, needless to say. He's over here giving mini challenges. You'll notice, hold it here 5 seconds. Do this for 5 seconds. Bring it down more slow. This time slower than before. Excellent challenges. This is going to force Julian to not only start to listen to him, it's going to give him mini goals. And hopefully those mini goals will stick in the back of his head throughout his training, because he can't always be training with Hani. He's going to have to be training on his own, and Hani is going to have to hope that he's going to train the way he's supposed to. That's one of the hardest jobs about being a coach, right? You're not always with your client sometimes, depending on the arrangement. And it's like 50% on the coach, 50% on the client. So excellent for putting this kind of stuff in his head, forcing him out of a comfort zone, raising that threshold when it comes to pain and all that other stuff.
I just felt like a little zap. I don't know what that was. Like a little tase. That was awesome.
All right, let's do the next
I
exercise.
feel weird, like on my back and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing them right.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the next movement. You did a good job.
Yo, Hany is all business, man. Julian's like trying to tell a story over here, and Hany's just like, okay, let's go over here.
Awesome.
All right, let's do the next exercise.
It's like, what? This guy's great. I love this guy, man.
So you did arms earlier today, huh? You couldn't help yourself.
Yeah.
You had to do it.
Yeah.
So you did arms earlier today, huh? You couldn't help yourself. First of all, if that's true, that was the stupidest thing that he could have did on a day that he has to train back later in the day. I believe that it's probably true. Because we saw when he was working with Larry Wheels, he trained his shoulders on heavy load, his biceps, his triceps, all before doing a heavy bench press. So the stupidity is obviously still there. He could not help himself. But another thing that I want to mention is someone out of the two mentioned, it must have been Julian, that he mentioned, oh yeah, I did my biceps earlier, because how else would Hany know? If that's the case, Julian might have mentioned this to make it seem like, oh, well, this might be a reason why I'm going to suck on back in advance. Or here's another one. It could be the fact that Hany wanted to mention that. It may or may not be true, but Hany wanted to mention it in case he does suck on back. People are kind of like, oh yeah, well he trained, his biceps, his arms earlier. So very nuanced. You let me know what you think in the comments, but if it's genuinely true that this guy took it upon himself knowingly to do biceps or arms in general in advance of this, absolutely stupid. Doesn't even shock me at this point.
Good. Keep going. 5. Good. Your rear delts even look like it grew a little bit. Go. Keep going. Good. Good. Excellent.
Hany mentioned your rear delts look like they might have grown a little bit. It's not really the best time to assess his rear delts, probably, considering he just did a ton of pull-ups and things of that nature. But, maybe he's comparing it to the pumped version of Julian the last time, and maybe he sees a little bit of growth.
So I was alluding to is the rear delt. So his rear delt right here, bring your elbow back, right in there. That actually this is like hyper responder, right? This is like hyper responder, right? So his rear delt is actually grown even from. So his rear delt has actually grown even from the last time we did shoulders. They look like they're just a little fuller already. So now he's got a good pump coming in, but he also didn't have as much fullness as he did last week. So it's going to be interesting to see how fast he's going to progress, being now that we're putting proper nutrition in him. And again, you were
Excited for the legs, man.
Yeah.
He was like
Hyper responder. Hyper responder. So we went from Julian having excellent standout body parts with his biceps, being genetically gifted and blessed according to Hany, and only having certain genetically gifted body parts. For people in general, he said, who are genetically blessed, he said they only have certain standout body parts. To Julian now being a hyper responder for his rear delt. You guys tell me. Is it genetics? Or is it something else? Again, remember, I said we're going to see, based on the size that the way he grows, we should get a good determination on whether this guy is actually taking something. So the fact that Hany is over here saying you're a hyper responder means he has not been training his rear delts specifically for too long, I'm assuming, and they're growing already. Sure, he's 19 years old. Sure, he's eating a ton of food. Sure, now he's getting excellent training. Sure, he has good genetics. So it's hard to tell.
Like, I know y'all gonna be hating on that video. It's cool, right? It's cool. Cause look, y'all gonna see how fast the legs grow.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I love that he's being cool about it. I feel like he's talking to me, even though I'm a small drop in the pot of people over here. But at the end of the day, he's saying, you're going to see how fast my legs are going to grow. Look, maybe my genetics just suck, right? They probably do. I don't really care. But the fact is, how can you so confidently say, look at how fast I'm going to grow? I guarantee you I'm going to be growing. Again, 19 years old, teenager, testosterone, naturally is high if he's not on, actual drugs. So, yeah, they probably would grow quickly. But, it's just shocking to me and confusing, a little nuanced here on how sure they are that he's just great and a hyper responder and all this other stuff. Now, not only is he genetically gifted with his biceps, but his whole body is genetically gifted, and he's like this amazing creature that no one's ever seen before, and he's like 1 in a million and 1 in a trillion and all this other crap.
And I want to hear nothing in the ear, man, when they blow up tomorrow. Oh, he took this, oh, he took that. No. Y'all saw it from the jump, so yeah.
No, I don't really see the point that he's saying. He said something along the lines of, oh, well, you're going to see when my legs grow, and then you can't be saying like, oh yeah, well, he's on gear or whatever. That would make people, the fact that it's growing so fast, that would make people believe that you are on gear. What exactly are you saying? No, you will. You will hear more. Because normal people don't grow like trees. So you will hear more. You will. It's absolutely possible, and I'm not saying it's true, but it's absolutely possible for him to be on gear and just not train his legs so his legs don't grow. Look at the boy shorts division. Tell me it's not true. You think if they started training legs, their legs wouldn't grow? Of course they would grow. And they would grow fast because they're on supplements. I don't see your point, bro. This is what I'm saying. The stuff he says doesn't make sense. Just like 1 second he says, I'm afraid of needles. The next second, he goes to get a drug test, which involves a needle. Then the next second he says, I want to be an IFBB pro. Meanwhile, a second before that, he said, I plan on staying natural for the rest of my life. Literally. And then he says, you can see how strong my legs are while he's on an exercise bike. And he also says that the reason his legs were small was because he was training them for strength because he didn't know how to train them for hypertrophy. But he trains his upper body for hypertrophy. Somehow he knows how to train his upper body for hypertrophy and not his legs. But meanwhile, we saw him training his upper body, and he was not training for hypertrophy. So you see what I'm saying here. You see there's multiple layers to this onion that is Julian.
And I want to hear nothing in the ear, man, when they blow up tomorrow. Oh, he took this, oh, he took that. No. Y'all saw it from the jump, so yeah.
We didn't see it from the jump. Show me your baby pictures. Bro, I'm only saying this because he's going out of his way to say, I am not on drugs. He's going out of his way to say, I am natural and I am genetically gifted and I'm amazing. He's going out of his way. If he was not going out of his way, I would not care. But show the baby pictures.
Show the legs, bro.
You were not born with biceps like that, bro.
Show the legs.
Oh, and if you were, you know you'd be showing it to people already. You'd be like, hey, look, this is my baby picture. Look at my back muscles. Look at my whatever. You'd be doing it. There's no history on this guy. None. And the fact that there's no history leads me to believe that there won't be any history. So we just have to take it at his word that he was training for 3 years, even though the other day in the other video, he's like, slipped up or something and said, oh, I was training for like 6 years or some crap. Get your story straight and back it up with something other than words. Maybe back it up with a couple of brain cells too.
Yeah. It's that simple. I already know y'all gonna be hating, bro. It's okay.
And I don't know that it's hating. I don't know that it's hating. Sure, there's nice ways to say stuff, but when you portray yourself in a manner such as this, telling Larry Wheels how to train and telling the world how to train when you don't know how to train at all, like telling people to do skull crushers when they're having pain and telling them, no, that's fine, that's normal. And then you tell your coach and he's like, well, then we're not doing that. You need to fix that. And you literally can't train triceps anymore because you're 19 years old and you cannot train them without pain. See, it's not hate at this point, bro. It's just telling the truth. It's just telling the truth.
6, just a little slower on the way back. That's better. Control it. Good. Great.
Again with the eccentric phase, it doesn't exist on his planet. It's just crazy.
Great breathing. Good. Good. 2 more. Pull. 1 more. Up. Good job. Okay. Again, talking about the strength. Obviously, if somebody's taking gear, you can put at least 3 plates on there, maybe 4 or more, right? Doing a plate and a quarter is because, again, that's natty. Now, is he going to grow? He'll still grow because he's got great genetics.
No. Hani, stop it. You're telling me you're going out of your way to say when somebody's on gear, again, guys, they're going out of their way. When somebody's on gear, oh, yo, you're going to have 3 or 4 plates on there. Well, first of all, what do you mean by plates? Because, plates come in many different weights. And you're arbitrarily saying that if somebody's on gear, they're going to have 4 plates? Bro, no. Garbage argument, bro. Garbage argument. Hani, don't lose the respect that people have for you like Jeff Nippard did, okay? Jeff Nippard went out on a limb to try to protect Julian and Hussein, and he got crapped all over because he looked like an idiot. He didn't even have to get involved. Hani, just my opinion, no disrespect, bro. Just do your thing with him. Train him the best you possibly can and don't talk about his gear or non-gear usage. Don't even do it, bro. Because at this point, you're grasping at straws just like Jeff Nippard was. You're grasping at straws. He can't be on it because he doesn't like needles. You might as well be saying that at this point. You know how many natty people can do 4 plates? What are you talking about? You train professionals every day. What are you talking about?
But the key is to learn how to be able to put the right macros in you, get enough protein so that he can be able to build a really good base so that he can eventually grow week to week by being able to add more weight slowly, right? So you'll put another 10 or another quarter on, and then he'll get stronger as he goes. But anybody else who's been taking gear for any period of time knows that this is a super lightweight.
This dude just went from talking about how he's not on gear because he doesn't have 4 plates and talking about it's natty and just jumping into protein, macros. What the hell is going on? So now you're telling me that people who are on gear don't need protein, I guess. I guess that's what you're saying. That's what I got from this argument of bringing up macros. Oh yeah, you're going to exercise and then you got to focus on the protein because then you got to build the muscle up slowly because you're natural. I guess natural people don't have to do that, guys. People who are on gear, they don't need protein. They don't need macros. They can breathe and they get bigger. Oh yeah, you sit on the couch and you get bigger. Unbelievable, unbelievable mental gymnastics right here from one of the greatest, most well-known coaches on earth.
All right, so how much do you rest between sets? During a warm-up, about a minute. In between sets, when during working sets, closer to 2, even 2.5 on those really heavy sets.
I agree. On warm-up sets, yeah, sure, you can rest for a minute. Depends on how you want to do your warm-up set. Hani says rest between 2 and 2.5 minutes on a working set. I agree. Honestly, I've told you guys in the past, depending on how hard you're training, personally, I rest 3 minutes. When I'm ready to go back to my training, I physically look at the machine that I'm using or the weights that I'm using, and I think, am I still scared of it? And if I'm still scared of it, I wait a little longer.
Because we're not trying to go to fatigue, we're trying to go to failure. So take your time on the heavy working sets between those sets so that you can rest properly.
Absolutely. So many people will be like, rest 30 seconds while doing this style of training, bodybuilding. It makes no sense to me. I've said it in the past. It's like charging a cell phone for 30 seconds and unplugging it. It will get you nowhere. Charge it up for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. You're going to get way more of a charge, and you're actually going to be able to get something out of that battery. Very likely he wanted to train his arms earlier today, if that was true and not just an excuse as to why he might do crappy on back. Because that's what he's known for, and he might feel insecure, and he might want them to be pumped up and ready to be looking good for the camera. That makes sense. His biceps are outstanding. They boggle my mind, just like they boggled Larry Wheels' mind. Larry was literally recording the guy while he was doing bicep curls, saying that he couldn't believe that he's standing next to such a phenom. I mean, that's Larry Wheels saying that. You see, on exercises like this, you could, in theory, cheat a lot. Or maybe it's not really cheating, kind of is cheating, by using your biceps so much if they are that huge. So a lot of this might not be going to his back. Of course, some of it is. Of course, I mean, it has to. But he's so dominant that I believe he's likely not getting as much back as what he should.
Woo! You're gonna sleep for a week.
Yeah. No, but even the shoulders, like they're starting to come. I can see it.
Let's see the front double bicep on that.
He's so tired he can't even speak. He sounds drunk. He sounds drunk. That's crazy. And you know, I guess that's kind of what you would sound like if you just came off a really hard set. Everybody's different. I feel like I speak a lot more coherently even after very hard sets, but to him, this is like very hard. So everybody's threshold is different. So Hany's over here mentioning that they did some variants on each of these exercises. I think variants are great. Absolutely. 100%. You can do those variants on the same day, or you can switch them up to a completely separate day. I have to be honest and say that, in my opinion, he is such a beginner. I would have him get good at a variant, or at the very get good with a certain style first, before he starts swapping up variants. And at the very least, train on one day with one style, and then on the next time, train with the other style. That's just my opinion, because your body wants to get good at stuff. A lot of your growth is going to be dictated a lot of the time by you getting good at something and overcoming it. If you're changing up variants or changing up movements too much, that could kind of slow that progress down just a bit. With variants, not too much. With changing complete different movements, more, that will happen more. With variants, less. But at the same time, sometimes just a slight change in the way you grip something shifts the focus to more of another body part. So You know, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Bring your hands together. Good. And drive. Good. Good. Keep your chest up so you stretch a little bit more without having to put the weights back and losing tension. Keep the tension on there.
Notice Hani caught him putting the weights down. This is not the first time that we've seen him pick the weight up, put it down, essentially doing a rest pause. Picking it up, dropping it completely, then doing another rep, dropping it completely. So he's cheating every chance he gets. It would not surprise me if he's like using mostly his biceps on this. I don't know. Just pointing it out.
Another half rep. Good job. That's it. Again, guys, one plate. Okay, this is not a super heavy machine. He's 205 pounds at almost 5'11".
Hani, I don't care if it's one plate. And the fact that you're bringing up that it's one plate, yes, it might look a little embarrassing. You probably shouldn't be telling people this. Well, I like that you're telling people. But don't say that because it's one plate, that's why, you know he's not on drugs. Don't say that. Don't say that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't talk about this guy, but Togi, I don't know. I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess that he's probably, let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, he's probably not very strong. He's probably not very strong. He's probably does crap form all day, lifts lightweight for hardly any reps, and is hardly at the gym. The guy's typically gambling and drinking, doing other drugs other than steroids. The guy's physique is crazy. So don't tell me it's because he has one plate, Hani, when you are a professional, that's proof that he's not on anything. I keep getting told by my wonderful subscribers that I need to tell you guys to like and subscribe. So like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. What are you waiting for? If you love the video, like and subscribe.
Right? So, are you almost 5'11"?
Yeah.
That's it. You sure? I don't know. Maybe he's 5'9" and I'm just 5'2" now because I'm shrinking. So, again, if you're on gear, you're going to do more weight than one plate. So, just, it is what it is.
No, he might be 5'9" because he seems to give misinformation every single time he talks. You almost 5'11"? Yes. Why, when we measured you, were you 5'9"? Oh, that's because I just exercised and it made me like bend like my spine. And who the hell knows at this point? 3 years training, 6 years training, 6 months training, who knows? And again, if you're on gear, just saying you're going to do more weight than one plate, listen, that's another ridiculous thing to say. Because if you watched the video that he did with Jeff Nippard, Jeff put on like every single plate that he could possibly find in the gym onto that machine, and Julian lifted it. It's on practically the same machine, the same row, if I recall correctly. So don't tell me it's because he's using one plate. These are absolutely ridiculous arguments coming from a professional. I think you're burying your credibility with this video. With this video specifically. I would move forward, bro, and just be like, he claims he's not natural, so I'm believing him. And that's it. Stop trying to get people to believe it, because what you're saying doesn't make sense. You're reaching. Your arms are ripping out of their sockets. You're reaching so hard for answers to prove why he's natural.
Guys, a little sneak peek on with somebody. Not everybody knows this Panada pieces of equipment, so I'm going to give you a little reference point, right? Yeah, now I didn't do the two exercises before this, but this, even for me, is light, right? So it shows you how much room he has to grow before he's going to actually really start getting strong. It gives me a reason to do a couple sets too.
Yo, it's ridiculous. This guy literally got on a piece of equipment to try to prove why his argument is correct when it comes to how that one plate that he's using proves that he is not on anything. Bro, again, have you not seen that Jeff Nippard video? Have you not seen it? Bro, you get me sick. The argument is getting me sick. It's disgusting to see a grown man with so much knowledge talk like this. Like we're a bunch of idiots.
Angle, right? And what we're going to do on that one is we're going to just do to failure. We're going to really work hard and get a really good set out of this, okay?
Yeah, I'm assuming that'll help bring in the rear delts too, right?
Absolutely, they both do. Yeah. So your rear delts are going to just, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to actually add rear delts to today, so that we can finish them off.
Doesn't even know that a row is going to hit rear delts. Doesn't even know. Has no, asking if it's going to hit his rear delts. The row. And another thing to bring out is the guy claimed to have trained his arms earlier today. So that could also be, Hani, why he's failing and why he can only do one plate. It could very well be. Like, dude, don't try to vouch for this guy anymore. Let people say what they want. Stop trying to get people to believe the argument of which you want them to believe. I don't care if he's on drugs, but what I do care about is when I have people like you giving me stupid arguments as to why he's not. Is it any question as to why people believe this guy is on stuff? Is there any question? He has a pump, obviously. Huge. Someone tell me in the comments, who else has only been training for 3 years, who was about 19 years old, and again, we have no proof that he's been training for 3 years. Zero evidence. Hearsay. But been training for 3 years, 19 years old, and looked like that. I want you to tell me. Tell me anybody else. You can't even say Hussein, because Hussein, no, he does not look like him. He does not look like this guy, Hussein. Sure, he looks fine. It's naturally attainable. Of course, in the timeline of which he's giving, very speculative. But look at this. Look at this. He doesn't even understand if a row is going to work his back, his rear delt. You're telling me he built this? You're telling me he built this? Or you're telling me his genetics are so good he was born looking like Larry Wheels? That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. It's no wonder why the world, a lot of the world, not the whole world, a lot of the world does not like this guy or the fact that he's claiming to not be on gear. And guys, I just need to throw this out here, okay? When I get passionate, I'm not yelling. Maybe technically I am yelling. I'm raising my voice, yes. It's not because I'm angry. This is just how I talk, okay? So, sorry. Hopefully I don't offend you guys. If you know me well enough, you know I'm not actually angry. I'm just absolutely perturbed, whatever the heck that word is right now. I can't even think of it.
Perturbed. Feeling worried, upset, or annoyed about something. Max was perturbed when his cat stole his sandwich, then sat on it like nothing happened.
Perturbed at what's going on, that I'm hearing the things that I'm hearing coming from this guy.
So it comes out to a couple pounds less than that. Really good form. He's been doing these when he was playing football. So again, form is down.
Again, doing these when he was playing football. I have so many people in the comments of my other video telling me that because Julian claimed that he was a wrestler. So many people telling me in the other video he's lying about the weight class with the wrestling. The weight class that he claims he was in doesn't exist.
And a little bit of soccer.
Yeah.
Right.
I've done football, soccer, fencing, wrestling. Most of probably.
What was your favorite?
Wrestling was definitely my favorite.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh,
wrestling
okay.
was definitely
And
my
what weight
favorite.
class did you wrestle?
I wrestled 195, but I went up to 220 because I was
Nice.
throwing people around.
How'd it go?
Good. Forearms, man.
Good, good. That's how you get your forearms big, guys. There's another reason why we're not using straps here, because if you use straps, you're gonna weaken up your forearm grip. Only use them for the heaviest weights. He's still developing everything. When he goes heavier, obviously we're gonna use straps.
Hani says, only use straps when you go really heavy. Yes, for a normal person, that absolutely makes sense. Your grip strength obviously will deteriorate if you use straps because the straps are taking over, essentially, allowing you to use all the muscle groups that are intended without fatiguing your forearms, your hands, your wrists, and things of that nature. Just want to point out the fact that I personally use VersaGrips. I've been using them for I think I want to say like maybe a year now. And they have helped me overcome plateaus, okay? Now, I'm not lifting crazy heavy weight, but the reason why I use them is not because of the weight necessarily. It's because I have tennis elbow in both of my elbows, in both of my, not in my elbow, but in the tendon near my elbows. So because I have tennis elbow, if I were to do a very heavy movement, or not even a very heavy movement, on certain movements, whether it's heavy or light, it will flare up. And if it flares up, I am done. I can't even train dedicated wrist forearms because of the tennis elbow. That's how bad it is. So keep that in mind. You guys might be out there like me thinking, oh, I wish I could do certain movements or whatever. VersaGrips changed my world. Now, I don't know if other grips are just as good, other straps are just as good. Maybe they are. But I use the VersaGrips, and man, they are like mind-blowing. I added, after using VersaGrips, I was able to add like 15 pounds practically overnight on my row. That's how bad my forearms were holding me back. Now, I just want to say, this is a lot of variety. Now, it's great for a 45-minute video, but again, Julian is a beginner. He is a beginner. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, personally, I don't think you need all of these movements in your program. I think you're good with only a couple. But hey, everybody's different. Hani is obviously used to training professionals. So if this is what he wants to do with them, this is what he wants to do with them. But my point is, first of all, I don't think you need all of these variations, different movements, doing the same muscles for the most part, pretty much the same. But he's not spending enough time, I believe, doing one movement. He's new. His form is going to suck. He's using lighter weight. And if you have a lot of variety, what happens is sometimes, because he's not spending a lot of time on one movement, or a majority of the time on one or two movements, he might not progress in physical weight as fast because his body, his motor units aren't going to get used to using with the form and with the weight and all that, because he's doing so many different movements. It's likely a minor detail, but I have to say, I feel like a lot of it's redundant. What's happening, what I'm seeing, I feel like a lot of it's redundant, not all of it, but again, I don't know. Just a thought. You guys let me know what you think in the comments.
Round it out, stretch and pull. Good. Oh, that's it. All right. So guys, sometimes I usually go to straight arm pull downs, but I wanted to see how his form is actually. That's why we threw this in as well. Even though we already did a really good rowing exercise, A couple. I wanted to just see how his form is so I can give him some homework. One of the things that he was doing was he was bringing his arm way out here. So we want to try to keep that arm tucked, but we want to be able to contract your back in a really good stretch so we can get that outer scapula to really stretch and then bring that arm all the way down.
Okay, Hani just said he wanted to see how his form is, and that's why he threw that in. Okay, so it makes sense. And again, like I said, Hani knows what he's doing. I'm not there. I'm not his coach. I don't have the same plan for him. So I'm glad Hani specified that he wanted to see his form on that movement. It might be he wants to kind of gauge where he's at over a variety of movements, and then maybe they'll kind of work more isolated for most training days. Who knows? We'll see what happens in the future. I also feel like Julian would be better doing these better if he had something more substantial to lean against. Kind of hanging on there, just hanging on to like the barbell rack, I feel like isn't good. If he had like a small wall, I think that would be a lot better. Or, some kind of a bench to kind of lean on. I feel like he's kind of being set up for failure on this one, but I know a lot of people do it. It's just a personal thing of mine. I feel like you get better form, more strength because your form is better and it's more comfortable and things of that nature using a different support rather than just the weight stack.
You're not used to doing these, are you?
No.
Yeah, come on. Good. Good. Pull. All right, so he is absolutely not used to doing these. So 50 pounds, guys. 50 pounds, and I think he did, 5 or 6 reps. So again, if you want to know whether or not the guy's clean or not.
Oh, don't. Bro, stop. Yeah, so if he's not used to doing them, how does that correlate into, he's not on drugs? You're throwing that in. You're throwing that in along with saying, it's very light and this proves he's not on anything. One has nothing to do with the other. In fact, it makes it seem even more possible that he might be on something. Now, after what you just said, he looks the way he looks, but at the same time, he's not even used to doing these. He doesn't even know how to do them. So, you see what I'm saying? Am I crazy? Let me know what you guys think. You see how Julian now moved to a different part of the rack? That looks much better. Much better. It's still not ideal in my opinion. I feel like he could probably be resting his forearm on something, which would make him really solid. But it's way miles better than what he was just doing. The smallest changes, guys, can sometimes be the biggest thing.
Sorry, guys.
My lower back is like done.
Yeah, his lower back is fried because, again, these are all new. I think, what are the exercises you normally do on back? Maybe some low...
I did the little lat pull downs.
Okay.
A lot of pull-ups, like weighted pull-ups and stuff like that.
And then maybe some cable rows, maybe, or no?
I just started doing that again. We didn't have cable rows at the class.
Oh, okay.
Why are you asking him what exercises does he normally do? He doesn't do exercises. Bro, you know damn well, bro, from your last video when you train legs with him. He doesn't exercise. He does like bench press and biceps. That's what he does. You asked him the other day why he doesn't do leg press, and he said, I do abductors. What kind of a response is that? Every time this guy says that he didn't do a certain movement or a certain exercise or a certain machine, it's because they didn't have it. They didn't have it at his school or whatever, wherever he was exercising.
Learning process. We learned a lot of things today. We learned that you got to be able to work his hamstrings. We got to do different exercises besides just a basic squat. So leg press.
They didn't have it. That's a very convenient excuse as to why you don't train anything. It's another thing that makes me so skeptical, like what the hell is going on here? They don't have anything. What gym are you going to, bro? They don't have nothing. They don't have nothing. They don't even have leg press. One of the most common things. Next thing, they're not going to have a bench press. Next thing, they're not going to have a preacher curl. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No, it's that you didn't use them. It's that you didn't use them and you only train biceps or whatever.
Again, guys, he's going to get some growth just from doing these exercises. One arm dumbbell rows is not a staple, right? Did you ever do these?
I mean, yeah, at one point in time, yeah.
But it wasn't something you were doing on a regular basis.
Yeah, no, it was uncomfortable because my form, like you have to like stabilize and stuff like that. So I was like, it'd probably just be better if because I was trying to work my lats and like get my back up if I just did pull-ups and then lat pull down.
Gotcha.
Yes. It was uncomfortable for his form. You have to stabilize. All right. Julian, I can't really take what he says seriously, so he could just be lying. So I have to preface it with that. But finding the proper stability is going to help your back. It's going to help your form, everything. And that little corner over there is way, way better than what he originally was doing. So while I tend to believe at this point that a lot of what he says is a lie, well, what he's saying right now, though, whether it's a lie or not, the facts that he's stating are true. If it hurts, if it's not stable, if you can't find a good thing to lean up against and stabilize with, it's not going to be a good exercise.
Bend over. Okay, and your pinkies.
Yeah.
What's hurting, your back?
Oh, my lower back is like done.
It's fried?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
fried.
put that back and we're going to do reverse fly.
Okay.
So if you have an issue, your back is tired and you can't bend over to do lateral raises, then let's go ahead and use a reverse fly machine.
I was just thinking it, and he said it. His back's got to be killing him. His legs are killing him because of the training the other day. Why don't you just put him on a fly machine? And there you go. He's going to put him on a fly machine. Way, way better idea. Makes so much more sense. I have to be honest. I've never used one of these reverse fly machines, ever. Never used them. It looks so uncomfortable. It looks ridiculous. I've never used it, so I don't know if it's good. Let me know if you guys have ever used one like this. I'm typically using the ones with the arms, so you have the handles. This looks extremely uncomfortable to the point where I'm trying to imagine what it would feel like. I don't know. I just think I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it. You see this? What's going on? This looks ridiculous. You have his arms slipping off of the rollers. Either it's a horrible machine or the arrangement of the arms is not in a good spot. This just looks stupid, and it looks like he's wasting his time at this point. You're so focused. I can almost guarantee you he's so focused when he brings his arms in to not allow the rollers to slip off his elbow that he cannot concentrate on actually bringing the thing back with any type of real power. This looks like a terrible machine. Again, never used it before, or maybe they have it set up wrong with the arms, but it looks horrible. I would never shoot. This looks like a garbage machine to me. And another thing that I just thought of now is if this guy stops because of pain, which he does, we know he stops because of pain, steroids don't make you have less pain. So just another reason to state the fact that if he's a big baby and he doesn't like pain, well, you're going to stop regardless. Whether you're doing heavyweight or not, you're getting lactic acid buildup. So just another thing that I thought I would mention, because I just think his argument is so stupid that he is burying his credibility, in my opinion, in even opening his mouth and saying something so ridiculous.
I feel pretty good. Yeah. I haven't done deadlifts in a while because you hear a lot about the risk to reward ratio and everything like that.
You hear a lot about you haven't done delts in a while because you hear about the risk to reward ratio. I have never heard of someone who didn't train delts. Who doesn't train delts? What risk to reward ratio are you talking about? Every time you ask him, Have you done an exercise or have you done a movement? He tells you no, and he has a reason. The reason is his gym didn't have the equipment, or his lower back hurts, or the risk to reward ratio on delts, one of the probably most exercised muscle on probably all men on earth, next to chest, the risk to reward is too high. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do the next video with these guys. It's too much. It's too much. I can't. I'm about to start praying. Look at Hany's face. He is so friggin' confused. He's like, risk to reward? He's not saying nothing. Risk to reward?
Good. I feel pretty good, yeah. Haven't done deadlifts in a while because you hear a lot about the risk to reward ratio and everything like that. And so
You see that? Look at Hany's face. He's nodding his head and stopped. He nodded it because he's very agreeable a lot of the time. He nods at everything. And then his brain caught what Julian said, once his brain registered what he said, he stopped. He stopped nodding. Why did he stop? It's not true. His eyes looked down. He stopped. It's not true. What risk to reward? Be more specific. You're telling me that training delts, doing delt raises is not advantageous? It's dangerous? The risk is too great? Everyone does them. Everybody does delts. Yo, look at Hany's face. Yo, he wants to tear him apart. It's hilarious.
wow, so yeah, man, that wiped me out. Not gonna lie, that was the biggest one that wiped.
I'm not gonna lie, that wiped you out. Bro, you lie all day. You lie like a friggin' rug.
Remember, like, subscribe, comment, and turn on your notifications because you're not going to want to miss a series. Bodybuilding 101. We got Julian in the house, and we're going to have lots of fun before he goes away to college. So
I'm going to comment right now. Hani, you have embarrassed yourself worse than Jeff Nippard with the comments you've been making on this particular video. I cannot even believe the things I'm hearing come from your mouth in regards to the evidence of him being natural. And I'm not saying he's natural or not, but your arguments are so garbage, it's unbelievable. Absolutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I'm all tuckered out. I've been screaming. I am tired now. And I was going to record another video, but I'm done, guys. I'm done for the night. I'm just going to skip, and I got to go do Hany's other video on another day because I need the mental energy to actually deal with this circus that we've been seeing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.